What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It is the weekend, it is Saturday, and I'm gonna dive into something today that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, almost actually a year. But before that, UPS just came by and they dropped off something that I've been anticipating for a very long time. Forgot my tripod, but these t-shirts will work, I guess. So I've been waiting for these for a little bit, but these are the next new drop for my website. I just dropped the waving lights in the last video. This is an entirely new design on 3 different styles of clothing this time. So this is more of a collection, and this is one of my favorite designs to date. But I need to make some space in my office so that I can get these in there and then get these all ready for you guys. So I couldn't help myself. I had to bust open a box and see the design in person, and I just have to say I have not been this stoked for a new design since the LS400 hoodie, and I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek. This is crazy. Obviously I'm gonna promote it and do my social media stuff that I always do with all of my products, but I gotta give you guys just a little sneak peek because this is just too cool. Not trying to overhype this at all. I just think that it's a killer design, and I can't wait to show you guys the actual full final product once I get the promo stuff done. These aren't just coming in one hoodie and one t-shirt style, they're actually coming with 2 t-shirt styles. I did my traditional black t-shirt, but I also did a vintage style black t-shirt, and I'm really excited to see that. But I think this is gonna be one of my best drops to date. I think it'll rival the LS400 design, and I cannot wait. So I got a whole wall of waving lights that I gotta pack up and send out to you guys. You guys are doing awesome on this drop. I really appreciate it. If you haven't picked up one of these yet, I have 3 different colors, purple, blue, and pink, which is new. And there will be a link in the description to pick one up. They're cheaper too, they're 10% off. And today we're diving into the NSX, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and that's just a good old-fashioned fitment video. I haven't done a fitment video in forever, and it's one of the things that has kind of bugged me a little bit about that car that I've been trying to change. And while it looks okay on pictures and camera and stuff, I could still do some more adjustment and make it so much better. So that's what we're gonna do today. Well, it looks like me having the chance to get rid of my farmer's tan today is probably not going to work out, but either way, I'm going to get this done. Here we go, right? We have the NSX, my favorite car ever. This thing is beautiful. I absolutely love the setup of this car. Everything about it I enjoy, except for one little thing. Well, I guess a couple things, but this is the main thing. When you have a car on air suspension, you basically have 2 different fitments that you have to worry about. You have your air up fitment when you're driving and how the car looks while you're driving, and your air out fitment when you're laid out on the ground. Now, it's very hard to get it perfect every single time to where you're happy with both, and right now I'm very happy with my air up fitment. The way this car looks while it drives, the wheels are basically flush with the fenders and quarters, but when I air out, it looks good, but the wheels are sunk. And they're not sunk a crazy amount, but they are sunk enough to where if I adjust them and do any modification, it'll be a big difference, and in a really good way. The specs on these Blitz 03s right now are 17 by 8.5 in the front and 18 by 9.5 in the rear. All 4 wheels have a 1-inch spacer on them right now just to bump them out a little bit. And the next thing on the list for this car is new lips, because the lips in the front are still factory. These front wheels are still welded together. and these lips are old, faded, tarnished, curb rash from whoever had them in Japan. The rear wheels, they need an inch bigger lip. These wheels belong to a buddy of mine, Bobby, up in Connecticut, and they were on his drift car. So a little bit of curbing on these lips too. To make sure that I get the perfect size, I'm going to swap these spacers out for bigger spacers and see basically what room I have to play with in terms of ordering new lips. I know what lip sizes I have. I have 4-inch lips in the front right now and 5-inch lips in the rear. So I need to step up to 5 and 6. But before I do that, I want to put these new spacers on, clearance the quarter panels and the fenders so that they can fit the new wheel setup that I want to run, and make sure that all of this works and flows properly and won't get in the way of anything. So the front is a little bit tight already, but the rear, I know I have a lot of real estate to basically cut out in the quarter panel, and it should give me the room to be able to have the wheel basically sit right up against the quarter panel when it's aired out, and that is the look that I'm after right now. I'm gonna air this thing up, go grab some tools, and we're gonna start trimming out these quarter panels. This is something that I've been dreading doing for a very long time because these are fiberglass, they're already painted. I should have done this before they got body worked and painted, but it was one of the things that I forgot to do. So I gotta be very careful when I do this, but I'm pretty sure that I have a good idea of how I can get this done to where it won't affect the paint or the kit or anything. So I'm gonna walk you guys through what I'm gonna do, and hopefully I don't destroy this kit because it's $10,000 and I really don't want to have to spend that again on another kit. So a little bit stressed, but I should be able to do this. I'm pretty confident. Here's a closer look at the gap. Have a decent amount that I can play with. You can see the inside of the body kit still has the lip, and there's a good about 1/2 inch of clearance between that lip and the tire already. So I want this thing to fit perfectly up against the quarter when it's done, so I'm not stopping until I achieve that. Once I actually get into the rhythm of this, it shouldn't take me too long to do these. These die grinders work magic, and I'm hoping that they're not aggressive enough to cause any damage to this. But I traced my little line out inside the quarter for where I want this thing to sit, and I'm just gonna follow that with the die grinder and hope everything goes well. I've used these on metal quarter panels too, and they work amazing, so I'm sure they'll make very light work of fiberglass. Just gotta be really, really careful. So, wish me luck. Oh boy. Well, it was definitely messy, but I got one done. I'll show you guys what it looks like. I took my time and it came out really, really nice. It might be hard to see, but you can see I started trimming there and then brought it all the way out to the edge and then slowly brought it back down. So now, hopefully, once I do the other side and then the front, I'm gonna go very, very light on the front. My main focus is getting the rear dialed in. But now I should hopefully be able to fit a bigger spacer, bump the wheel out, have better fitment, and then know exactly what size that I need to get for new lips and whatever small little tiny spacers that I have to run in the future. But I'm dying in this respirator, but it's definitely needed. This shit is such a dirty job. I give props to Josh dealing with fiberglass and stuff. But I'm gonna bang out the passenger side, and then we'll move on to the front, get that knocked out, and this should be hopefully done pretty soon. This is definitely terrifying, but it's working. I'm gonna do the fronts. They should be pretty quick
because there's not a big lip in there. Yeah, I'll pull the car inside, we'll swap the spacers, put the wheels back on, see if this fitment is like dialed, and then I'll be pumped. If I can pull this off, this thing is going to look so aggressive sitting on the ground. It already looked aggressive, but it's going to be just that much more.
Okay, aside from making an absolute mess of myself and taking like a half an hour to clean up, I think I got all four good to go. No casualties, no cracks, no weird things. Really took my time with the die grinder and just wanted to make sure that they came out as good as possible. And it seems like we did that. So cutting should hopefully be all done. I don't really want to go too much crazier. I'm gonna pull this thing inside and then start jacking it up, taking wheels off, and test fitting the new spacers. Then we can start playing with fitment and other spacers and things like that, and just try and see how close we can get these wheels to the quarters and fenders without any issues or any rubbing or anything like that. I have in this box a bunch of spacers that I bought when I first did this body kit, thinking that I would need them, but I didn't, and now I think I actually do need them. So I'm glad I hung on to them. Like I said, the car right now has inch spacers front and back. These ones right here are 1.5 inches. And then these ones wrapped up in here are 2 inch. I'd really not like to run something this big. Even 1.5 inches is kind of pushing it for me. But if I can get a 2 inch to fit, then I know that I could get basically 2 inch more lip in the rear of the car, which is actually insane. We'll try and get the rear tackled first, since the rear has the biggest gap. And once I'm happy with the rear, then I'll move to the front. And I gotta be a little more careful with the front because that's where the wheels turn and everything. So, but I'm excited. You can already see how much tighter this is just with a 1/2 inch clearancing front, and all the way up through here is good. There's a little close spot right here, you can see. Didn't rub or anything airing down, but it is something that I could do to trim out. And to be honest, I could get this thing closer. It's hard to tell, but there's a good finger gap in here on the front, all the way through here as well. Gets tighter on the backside, but I'd say once I do a little bit more trimming, I could probably put a slip-on spacer in there as well. That would give me just a little bit more, but I can't go to 2 inch. That'd be way too much. It's promising though. This looks insane. I am glad that I did this, as dirty as it was. All right, I'm gonna put the other side on, and then I can get my measurements of like where I need to trim, and then I'll pull the car back outside real quick, trim them, and be good.
Hello.
So you have your driving gear.
Yes, this is required.
I wonder if it can even hear you.
I don't know if it can. I need to, I did a bunch more measurements and, stop it, music. Made some more little Sharpie marks just because I turned the wheels, and it's close, it's not hitting, but I just want to make sure it's good. So I'm going to trim it up a little bit more, and then this thing should be good. And then I can show you guys the final air out fitment because it looks crazy.
How does that make you feel?
Satisfied.
I'm done for tonight. Got all the extra trimming done that I needed to, and I'm just gonna blow this thing off. And then tomorrow I'll worry about cleaning it, making sure it's good, and we can get final shots and I can show you guys what it actually is supposed to look like. Because this was my vision, and I didn't do this in the very beginning, which I don't know why I didn't. I think I was just too excited to drive the car. Yeah, now the vision is like complete. I'm gonna blow it off, and then tomorrow you guys get to see it. thing cleaned up, done with the new look, makes me feel amazing. And the fact the entire job went smooth, I didn't fuck up any quarter panels or any fenders or nick anything or nick paint, crack fiberglass, makes me feel really good. So at the end of the day, I added a 1.5 inch spacer to the rear instead of a 1 inch spacer, and then a 1.25 inch spacer to the front instead of a 1 inch spacer. So I know safely I could get an inch bigger wheel in the front, or inch bigger lip in the front, and the rear kind of the same. Could probably do an inch and a half if I really wanted to, but I'm not sure they make half inch sizes for bullet lips. I'll look into it. If I can, sick. If not, I'll just get inch bigger lips for front and back, and then I only have to run tiny spacers. Regardless, the thing drives fine. No real rubbing aside from the same kind of rubbing that I had before, which again is very minimal, and I hardly ever have to deal with it. But seeing this thing with a little bit more of an aggressive stance sitting on the ground, it just looks so good. I love it so much. I just got a text from Cricket that he pretty much wrapped up the Supra exhaust. He's got a tiny bit left to do, but I want to pop over there and check it out, because that's one big step on that car done, and then we can send that car down south. All right, Cricket had to run. He's go-karting with his friends right now, but I just came in here to see this thing basically complete. The only thing that's left is the wastegate dump and a couple final welds. But the downpipe is done, the entire mid-pipe is done, and the HKS axle back is on and done as well. And this thing just looks incredible. Big shout out to Drift HQ and Vibrant for the materials, helping me source all the parts. They helped source the HKS exhaust way back when I first placed the order for all this stuff. Got a full carbon muffler back here with a titanium tip, and it just looks killer. For those of you that watch me and Adam, you'd probably recognize the exhaust. The same exact exhaust is on the giveaway Supra, and it's just like one of the best exhausts that you can get for a Supra. They sound amazing, they look amazing. It's HKS, so it's quality stuff. But yeah, one big final piece to the puzzle completed. And it's cool to see under this thing again, because I haven't been under here in a very long time, and it's very clean, so that's cool. I'm pumped on the progress with this thing. Like he said, he's just got to make the wastegate dump, and he's gonna have that dump right around here. I was gonna have him recirculate it into the downpipe. Maybe I can have Roberto do that in the future, or I'll just live with it dumping traditionally just right here. That and just a couple little final welds, and this will be good to go. What I do need to make sure that I do in this video is get all of the parts that I have left over for this thing put in the car. That way when we take this thing down to Roberto this week, he'll have all of the spare parts that I have left to just slap on this thing. One of the biggest improvements besides this thing getting manual swapped will be the clutch. As you guys know, when I had my Soarer, my red Soarer that I sold in 2021, we did a R154 manual conversion on that car, and we used an action clutch. And I absolutely loved the way that that car drove and felt. And that single disc 6-puck clutch felt amazing. It was super streetable, super easy to drive, capable of handling plenty of horsepower. So you guys know I had to go with that same clutch for this setup as well. It should be perfect for the power goals that I'm trying to reach. It should feel exactly the same. It should be nice and comfortable and streetable, not too foot heavy, and it should be the perfect setup for this thing for the power I'm trying to make. If you guys are ever in the market for any clutch setups for your cars, definitely check out Action Clutch. I will leave a link at the top of the description. Check out their website, browse their stuff, because chances are they have a clutch kit for your car and you won't regret it. All right, it's the end of the day. I'm gonna wrap this video up. The Supra is stocked full with all of the new parts. that'll be going on it when the car gets down south. And as you're watching this video, I will actually be on my way down to drop the car off. So I'm very excited for that. This is a really big deal for the Supra. The car should be done in a month or less, hopefully, fingers crossed, because all the stuff that I have here should basically finish the car or leave me a couple extra things that I have to get here and there. I absolutely love how the NSX looks. That car's like perfectly fitted when it airs out on the ground now, and I can't stop looking at it. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little video. I haven't done like a wheel fitment style video in a long time. I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully with some Supra content or some Century content. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching.